What's up, YouTube? Nito here for another episode of Nito's Niches. Don't worry, I'm still alive. I know you guys have been probably wondering, man, he hasn't made a video in months. Work has been insane, but now I got another video for you guys. This time it's the ILI Translator. Stay tuned. So the ILI Translator is actually something that I've seen pop up in my Facebook feed and other social media platforms for quite a couple of years now. I think I started seeing this around 2 years ago. So what it is it's an offline translator that is just a small little device in the palm of your hand. You speak into it and then it translates into Japanese, Spanish, or Chinese right on the fly. Now you may be thinking, well, Nito, I have my smartphone and I can just translate whatever I want, whenever I want. Why would I want to go and buy another device to translate? And the answer to that question is actually one of its key features. It works offline as opposed to your phone having to be online. So no more stalling, let's unbox this thing and get straight to the review. So we take off its protective cover, and like every other tech device that's come out in the past couple of years, its box is very minimalist and chic, and we open it up to get paperwork, and we don't need any of this. So inside the box is pretty simple. We have the ILI Translator, we have the included micro USB charger, and then we have a wrist strap. So let's pop this out. On the device we have 3 buttons, where the top one on the right side is for power, the bottom right side is used to change your language as well as repeat back to you what you said in English, and finally the front facing button is used to actually translate whatever it is you want to say. Now this little thing retails for $200, so we need to make sure that we're getting our money's worth. With this one device you're able to translate from English to Spanish, Japanese, or Chinese. So let's start off with Spanish. This is Spanish.
Este es el español.
This is Japanese. This is Chinese.
这是中国人。
It's interesting that the translations also have a little bit of an accent despite being robotic. Now the most important thing about a translator is obviously its accuracy, so we're gonna run this thing through the ringer and give it a whole bunch of tests. Unfortunately, I don't speak Chinese, Japanese, or Spanish, so I can't speak towards the accuracy of the translations. However, my girlfriend speaks Spanish, so I'm gonna bring her in to help me with the testing of this thing. And now introducing my wonderful assistant Alex. She's going to be doing the Spanish translation confirmations to make sure that the translations are accurate. Say hi to the people, Alex.
Hi to the people, Alex.
So let's start with an easy one. Where is the nearest airport?
¿Dónde está el aeropuerto más cercano?
How much for this taxi cab?
¿Cuánto cuesta el taxi?
Would you like to go out for a drink?
¿Quieres salir a beber algo?
Yes, I would.
Are there any good restaurants nearby?
Hay restaurantes buenos cerca.
How much does this hotel cost per night?
¿Cuánto cuesta este hotel por noche?
Where's the bathroom?
¿Dónde está el baño?
I'm sorry, I don't understand Spanish.
Lo siento, no entiendo español.
Which way to the beach?
¿Qué camino a la playa?
What is your name?
¿Cuál es su nombre?
Alright, so far so good. Now let's kick it up a notch. Let's start with, can I ship this to the US?
¿Puedo enviar esto a nosotros?
No? Okay. Apparently that was wrong, so let's see what it caught in English and then see if the Spanish translation is what was wrong or whether it was just what it picked up in English that was wrong.
Can I ship this to the US?
Okay, so it heard us as US. So instead let's try, can I ship this to America?
¿Puedo enviar esto a América?
Okay, so proper nouns and acronyms may not work. Are you sure this steak is cooked medium well?
¿Estás seguro de que esta bisteca lo pobre está medio cocinado bien?
Alright, let's see what it caught in English.
Are you sure this steak is cooked medium well?
Okay, so the English is good. So where did it f up in Spanish?
It doesn't say well.
It just says medium?
It says medium. It translated into, was it properly cooked medium?
It's saying well as in the adjective rather than well as in medium well, medium hyphen well.
Yeah.
I would like a 3-hour-long Swedish massage.
Me gustaría un masaje sueco de 3 horas largo.
I'm gonna say yes, because I don't know what sueco is, so I'm gonna assume it's Swedish.
All right, let's catch it in English.
I would like a 3-hour-long Swedish massage.
We're gonna throw a question mark on that one. What time does the next bus come into town?
¿Qué dime el próximo autobús en la ciudad?
The first part was off. Que dime.
What time does the next bus come into town?
So the English was correct, so it's just the translation that's wrong.
Just the first 2 words.
So what's supposed to be?
¿A qué hora llega la próxima guagua a la ciudad?
And it said,
¿Qué dime el próximo autobús en la ciudad?
Oh, I guess it meant like, what's the estimated time for the next bus? That's just an awkward phrase. I guess it's just more proper.
are there any good excursions or other activities nearby?
¿Me alguna buena experiencia o otras actividades cerca?
It says mea, which doesn't make sense, but the rest of it is right. So you said that if you played that for someone, they would understand it.
My leg is broken. It hurts right here. Please make the pain go away.
Mi pierna está rota, me duele justo aquí, por favor haga el pago, váyase.
Nice. So if you're prepared to break your legs in a Spanish country, you can buy this device.
But when you said make the pain go away, it said please go away. Now that I think about it.
This isn't even my final form.
Esta no es mi incluso formulario final.
It was not.
This isn't even my final form.
So what was wrong?
No, it translated form to like as in a paper. Like when you fill out a form at like the post office, that's what it is. And then incluso means like inclusive.
So if you are in an anime, don't use this translator.
Damn it.
Let's try some curses.
Falqueya en la playa, todo tipo de terror, señor.
Foxy beach and also like horror kind.
So I don't even need to blurt that out because I don't even know what it said. Can't use this to curse, man. It's worthless. Pay $200 for nothing.
You can't curse somebody out in Spanish.
Okay. Okay, I know that was right. Spider-Man does anything a spider can.
¿Tiene algo puede este papel?
Nope.
Spider-Man does anything this paper can.
Where did it get paper from? His palms are sweaty, knees weak, arms are heavy. There's vomit on his sweater already. Mom's spaghetti. He's nervous.
Su palma sudada, rodillas, brazos son feliz, vomitar en un jersey, ya está nervioso, espaguetis, mamá esta semana, señor.
Most of it was correct.
Okay, let's catch what the English translation was.
His palms are sweaty, knees weak, arms are happy. This vomit on his sweater already. Mom's spaghetti is nervous.
But most of the translation was correct.
Okay, so if you're Eminem and you're going to a concert in a Spanish country, you may be able to use this translator. Enemy spy plane inbound.
Cualquier pesar limpieza con destino.
That was totally off.
Any spite cleaning bound.
Enemy spy plane inbound.
Enemigos comprar un vuelo de enlace.
It only got the first word, enemigo.
Enemy spy a plane inbound.
Okay, I can barely understand what it's saying in English, and that's also one of the problems with this translator is whatever it repeats back in English, I can't speak to the Japanese, Chinese, or Spanish, but whatever it repeats back in English is sometimes hard to understand. Is the Spanish sounding clear, at least?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's just the English. So after all that testing, the question remains, Nito, do you recommend this device? And I have to say, I don't know. Overall, I'd probably give the ILI Translator a 2, maybe a 3 out of 5. It fits a very specific niche. Its main appeal is that it's an offline translator. This can be really useful if you're in a country where you don't want to pay for roaming charges or an extra data plan, or if you are maybe like in the middle of a rainforest or in the countryside or wherever. You don't have an internet connection, that's the main thing, and you can't use your phone to translate for you. This is meant to be a solution for that problem. However, supposedly Google Translate is supposed to work for offline translation for voice input. on Android at least. I couldn't get it to work, at least not for my Samsung phone. I've seen YouTube videos where it does work. I wish I could give an example, but I can't. So this is meant to fill a certain void, a gap, so to speak, but it doesn't, because there's only one-way translation. So it's highly limited for $200. On top of that, it's not very accurate. Google Translate is significantly more accurate than this is, and it's free. My back hurts. Do you know of any good chiropractors nearby?
My back hurts. You know of any good chiropractor is nearby?
Where is the cheapest bar in town?
Where is the cheapest bar in town?
No shrimp, please. I'm allergic to seafood.
No stroke, please. I'm allergic to seafood.
My name is Jonathan.
My name is Johnson.
I'm sorry, I don't understand very well. Can you please speak more slowly so that the translator can hear more accurately?
I'm sorry, I don't understand very well. Can you please speak more slowly so that translator can hear more accurately?
The red wire is power and the black wire is ground.
The red-white wire is power and the black wire is ground.
I don't like suede or leather materials.
I don't like sweet or leather materials.
Does this shirt come in any smaller sizes?
Does this shower come in any smaller sizes?
The historic state of a record is determined by a left outer join of the PR state node and the PR status type tables on the status type and ID columns respectively.
El estado histórico de un registro está determinado por una combinación externa izquierda del nodo de estado de PR y las tablas de tipo de estado de PR en el tipo de estado y las columnas de ID, respectivamente.
And at least with Google Translate, you can use it offline, you just can't use the voice input. Now, when you are speaking common phrases to it, it does tend to get them correctly. And the voice synthesis, whether it be in English or one of the other languages, is usually clear enough that you can understand it. The build quality is pretty decent. I'd say the plastic feel is a little bit cheap, so I wouldn't expect this to be durable. You know, if you're gonna use this during an excursion, you'd want to use the included wrist strap, that way you don't drop it on down a mountain or something. And as far as I know, this isn't waterproof, so you wouldn't want to take it into the water or, you know, too far into the beach or anything. I don't know how sand would affect this device either. Honestly, for what it costs for $200 plus tax plus $15 shipping, I personally don't think it's worth it. I wouldn't purchase this myself. In fact, I didn't purchase this. I was given the chance to review this by a friend who purchased it for himself. I personally would rather just use my smartphone, which is already water resistant and probably more shock resistant than this thing is if it was in a proper case. It would do voice translations two-way, so English to Spanish and then Spanish to English, as long as it's on a network, which will be majority of the cases. It does more translations than just the English to Japanese, Chinese, or Spanish. And it does offline translations if you're at least doing the text input, and supposedly does voice input as well if you're lucky. I don't understand why I can't do it. And what's cool about Google Translate is you can also use it to translate text with pictures, so signs, etc. And I mean, you wouldn't be able to do that with this. And Google Translate's free. And it's not very resource intensive, which means you can use it with your regular cheap phone. In fact, you can buy a $200 Android phone and use that with Google Translate, and it would probably still outperform this thing. And that's the end of my review of the ILI Translator. If you enjoyed this video, then be sure to hit that like button and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this one. Peace. Have you heard of my YouTube channel?
¿Ha escuchado de mi qué canal?
No.